Imagine this. Two engineers interview for the same role and both use AI coding tools every single day. Now, one of the engineers gets the job, while the other cannot even get past the system design interview. How do you think two engineers can have such different outcomes if they both use the same 10x AI tools? Well, having grown from junior to senior myself and interviewing candidates at tech companies, I know what the difference is between a bad and a good candidate. And if you are a junior right now, you are probably getting distracted from learning what really matters. Half of your feed says AI is going to replace you. The other half says that learning the code is dead and that you can just vibe code everything. But what do you actually believe about all of this? Let me share you a story that will help you form your own opinion instead of just listening and following others. A hiring manager recently told me about two candidates he interviewed back to back for the same position. Let's call them Fu and Bar. And so Fu walked through his projects and could explain his decisions in every single interview. When they got to the system interview round, he talked through trade-offs, why he might go for a NoSQL database, why he'd structure the API in a certain way. And when the interviewer pushed back, he could defend his choices or acknowledge when a different approach would make more sense. Now, the second developer, Bar, had an impressive portfolio, a bunch of AI-assisted projects with polished demos. But when they hit the system design round, it fell apart. Why would you choose a SQL database here? Could be one of the simple questions, and he wouldn't know. What happens when this service gets 10 times the traffic? He couldn't reason through it and explain how he would scale up the service. He didn't even have an explanation of why he used GPT-4 for one of his AI projects, which is already a deprecated model at this point. Good technical interviewers see right through this. We know that you're using Claude Code to generate this code and that it picked GPT-4 from its training data as the most recent model, not a conscious choice that you made as a trade-off. And that is not really a problem, as long as you can justify the code that is generated yourself in an interview. And Bar in this case built things without understanding why it worked. So Bar could ship features all day long, but he could never explain the decisions behind them, which meant that Fu got the job. Because we as technical interviewers may not be able to see the difference in AI-generated code, but we will immediately see through you once we have a live conversation about software for half an hour. In this case, Fu can be trusted to make decisions when nobody's looking over their shoulder, while Bar cannot be trusted. You have to understand that companies don't care about whether you can one-shot a to-do app. They care about whether you can be called when their payment system goes down and nobody knows how to fix it. They want to know whether they can hand you a multi-million-dollar project and trust you to make the architecture decisions and be responsible for them. And being able to make those judgments is what separates a junior who gets stuck in hiring with a junior who does get hired and even gets promoted quickly. So ask yourself, if someone asked you a certain decision that you made in your last project, could you explain it? Because when requirements change or something breaks, the person who understands the system is the person who can fix it. Po Shen Lo, the math Olympiad coach, put this perfectly. He said that using AI to do your homework is like driving your car 1 mile for exercise. So think about that, right? You're not really saving time because you're skipping the entire workout. The workout here is the point. When you struggle through a bug for 2 entire hours, you are not wasting time compared to letting Claude Code do everything, because you are building a mental model of how the system works. That mental model is what lets you debug the next problem in 10 minutes instead of 2 hours and actually get through technical interview rounds. So don't get me wrong, right? AI tools are incredible. I use them constantly, but there's using AI to learn faster, and then there's using AI to just skip learning entirely. The junior who uses AI to explain concepts, to suggest approaches that they can think through themselves, well, that person is truly learning way faster than anyone who does not use AI at all. But the junior who just copies AI output without understanding anything, they are building a house of cards that will collapse the moment they try to get a truly technical role. Which one are you right now? You are either scared of AI because you are on social media too much, or because you are not such an engineer yet who can handle the real technical interviews. And there is still a difference between a developer and an engineer. A developer just writes code. An engineer understands complex end-to-end systems. Developers could be replaced by better tools, but engineers cannot, because engineers are the ones who decide what to build and not just how to build it. They are the ones who catch when the AI suggestion would break something downstream and can take responsibility for it. They're the ones who can debug a production issue at 2 a.m. without copy pasting error messages into ChatGPT and hoping for the best. No matter what you might read on social media, there is no perfect self-healing agent used in real production scenarios, because companies will always need people who can think through problems, weigh trade-offs, and make decisions they can defend. That's not going away, no matter what people might tell you on a platform like X. If anything, it's becoming more valuable as AI makes the code itself cheaper. So if you are worried about your career as a junior, this is actually good news. The path forward for you isn't to try and outcode AI. I write most of my code with AI nowadays, but you have to become the person who knows when AI is wrong. And so if anything, here is what I want you to take away from this video. Don't let social media decide your career for you, including this video. Half the people posting about AI have an agenda. They want clicks, and they want you to feel fear, and they want you to especially feel like the sky is falling, right? But if you actually talk to people building real projects, hiring real people, and shipping real code, you will hear a different story. I can't believe I have to say something so obvious, but engineers are needed everywhere. Healthcare, finance, logistics, energy, every industry is still requiring a lot of well-maintained software, and they all need people who can think, not just prompt. Sure, maybe there will be less engineers in the future, but if you're watching this video right now, then you're understanding already the mentality that you need to become future-proof. And the fun part of building things is having your own contribution, your own twists and ideas that you bring to the table. And that doesn't go away just because AI can generate, 500 lines of Python in 2 minutes. If anything, AI gives you more leverage to bring your ideas to life faster. And you probably have better ideas than the standard to-do list app that people are generating every day with AI, or the 1 millionth Tetris clone, right? I believe you have much more capability than that. So don't be afraid of this moment where everyone is doom posting about AI. Be excited, because if you take the right approach here, AI will become the biggest career accelerator that you've ever had. You just have to put in the work to truly understand what you're building and stop scrolling so much. Put the fundamentals first and then put the AI tools on top. The engineers who are thriving right now learned how these systems work first. Why do you think that senior engineers are just able to make so much progress, and why there seems to be so much doubt about the job security of juniors especially? Well, it's because they already have the fundamentals, and then they can add AI on top of that to truly move faster. Seniors can review AI-generated code because they know what good code looks like. They can debug AI suggestions because they understand the underlying logic. So if you do things right, you are not competing with AI because you're building the skill to direct it, to orchestrate it. And that skill still requires software understanding. Now, I have an agenda too, because I have a lot of free resources to help you with your engineering career. And you can start with the free AI Engineer Starter Kit in the description, or decide to watch the next video and keep distracting yourself.